Thor Ragnarok is Marvel Studios' 17th entry into its highly successful Marvel Cinematic Universe. One would think by now that this character and the characters in general would be growing rather stale, thanks to his last film failing to deliver much of anything. But thanks to director Taika Waititi, he has breathed new life into Thor and his supporting cast, and maybe even reinvigorated Marvel Studios' way of making a film. The story is a rather simple one. Hela, the goddess of death, and interestingly the sister of Thor, is unleashed upon Asgard and looks to install herself as the rightful queen of the realm, returning the realm to its secret and brutal early history that Odin hid from everyone, including his own sons Thor and Loki, whose job it is to put an end to Hela's path of destruction, although doing so might bring about Ragnarok. So I'm going to use a word that for some reason nowadays means a movie is bad, and that word is fun, because that's what this movie is. Right from the first scenes of Thor fighting Surtur, to the sounds of Immigrant Song, to the Battle of the Bifrost, this movie has you hooked thanks to some great and creative action, amazingly done character development, especially for Hulk, and of course some great laughs. This wasn't your standard Marvel Studios' comedy either. This was Taika Waititi's own brand of quirky comedy, seen in his other films like Hunt for the Wilder People and What We Do in the Shadows. Every joke landed, and landed as it was intended to. Hela, played by Cate Blanchett, is probably going to give Loki a run for his money as one of the best villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She's pretty fantastic and has some pretty understandable motives for why she wants to rule Asgard. She as well was funny, but it wasn't the quippy, often out of character funny that you sometimes see with Marvel villains. Tessa Thompson's character as one of the Valkyries was quite good as well, and had a full character arc that in a way mirrors Thor's original arc from the first film, and saw her return to Asgard with a new lease on life. Other characters include Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster, who steals every scene he is in thanks to Jeff's charisma and general weirdness, and Karl Urban's Scourge the Executioner, who I originally thought was kind of going to get shafted and just be sort of like a second tier villain that Thor would have to fight, but he has a great story arc that leads him, again like Valkyries, back to his people in a heroic fashion. Idris Elba's Heimdall also has a rather important role, not just in this film but in the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe now, and probably in Infinity War now as well. Taika Waititi also plays the Cronin named Korg, who is a blast every time he's on screen with his bug friend Meek. Hulk, again played by Mark Ruffalo, gets the most screen time he has had since his Phase 1 solo film, as his character is properly fleshed out and given a pretty serious arc that sees Banner having to decide that if he should become Hulk again, and in doing so he might not be able to return to a human form. The film was also filled with a number of callbacks and references to the previous Thor films that actually kind of alluded to this film as well. These range from Thor trying out Black Widow's technique to try and calm the Hulk, or the hilarious Asgardian theatre production of Thor the Dark World, where Thor is played by Chris Hemsworth's brother Liam, and Loki is played by, of all people, Matt Damon. There's even a cool nod to Thor's Donald Blake persona, right down to Mjolnir disguised as a umbrella. Biggest is probably Thor's vision from Age of Ultron, which here comes true and sees the god of thunder cause Ragnarok and the death of Asgard. One of the biggest, often overlooked characters in films are the musical score, which can make or break films. Mark Mothersbaugh of Devo fame is the man behind the cool 80s inspired synth score that blends old themes from the previous films with new sounds that make a fantastic score and just add to the fun. Going forward, I think Thor Ragnarok will end up being an important piece of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not just from the things it sets up and does for our characters in it, but also that you can tell it's a director's film, it's a Taika Waititi film, and it isn't a watered down quote-unquote studio film in any aspect. I'm going to give Thor Ragnarok a 9.5 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my newest video. If you enjoyed it, you might also like to check out my other reviews here on my channel. You can also follow me on various social media platforms like Twitter by searching Matt_FOS, or even join the Comic Multiverse Discord server and chat with other comic book fans, including myself and Joel from Cape Joel. Want cheap comics and trades? Head over to the book depository with the link in the description to get the cheapest trades and comics around, along with free shipping anywhere in the world. Until next time, this has been Matt of the Fortress of Solitude. Thank you so much for watching.